Hi YouTube. I just wanted to do a video on constellations because I love space and there was a planets video and kind of talks about space and other things. So just wanted to do constellations. So start off with the simple question that always gets asked is what are constellations? Well, constellations are totally imaginary things that poets and farmers and astronomers pretty much have made up over the past 6,000 years. Actually, and probably even more. The real purpose for constellations is to help us tell which stars are which. Nothing really more than that. Just to be like, oh, this star's here, and then kind of figure out where the North Star is too, and just, you know. But on a really dark night, you can see about 1,000 to 1,500 stars. Um, Trying to tell which is which is very hard because I can't tell apart 1,000 of anything, really. But trying to tell which is which from stars from so far away and they look kind of all the same, some bigger, some are smaller, it's hard to tell. The constellation helps by breaking up the sky into more manageable bits. Um, they are used as memory aids, pretty much. For example, if you spot three bright stars in a row in the winter evening, you might realize, oh, that's part of Orion. And suddenly the rest of the constellation falls into place. And once you recognize Orion, you can remember that Orion's hunting dogs are always nearby. So, let's talk about Orion. And I have pictures. This, my friends, is Orion. You can see it says Orion at the top. Just shows that's his belt. And that's like his bottom half, and it comes up that way. And there's his arms. Or no, that's his bow. So his arms come out this way. Yeah. Sorry. So, you see it? Those are the three stars that we see and we recognize as Orion. But, essentially, can you still see that when I outside? Okay. Okay. So, essentially, let's just talk about Orion because he's one of my favorite constellations. But the Orion constellation lies in the northern sky, and it's on the celestial equator. Sorry, I can't talk today. It's one of the brightest and best known constellations of the stars. Orion's actually the first constellation I learned. After I learned him, I learned his dogs and the Big Dipper, Little Dipper, like things like that. It's associated with, or Orion's the hunter. Orion, it's also known as the hunter, and means the hunter, I believe, in Latin. But don't quote me on that. I know. Um, but it's associated with a hunter in mythology. Um, but the constellation represents the mythical hunter Orion, who was often depicted in star maps as either facing the charge of Taurus, which facing the charge of Taurus, which is this is Taurus, and that's his quiver. He puts arrows in. I think it's called quiver, but facing charge of Taurus, so facing this way. That's the bull, or chasing after the constellation Lupus. So it's here. So it could be chasing, like going that way, just sideways, I guess. Which is the constellation Lupus is a hare, so it's a rabbit. There's two hunting dogs that aren't on here, but it's two hunting dogs represented by the nearby constellations Canis Major and Canis Minor. The constellation Orion contains two of the brightest stars in the sky. Regal, which is Beta Orionis, which is this star here, and Betelgeuse, which is Alpha Orionis, which is right there. A number of famous nebula, the Orion Nebula, uh, D. Marina's Nebula, and the Horsehead Nebula, among others, the well-known Trapezium cluster, and one of the most prominent astromeres in the night sky. I can't talk today. So that's just pretty much where he is. That tells you about that. Orion's Belt. Well, let's talk about Orion's Belt. Ha ha ha. 3 stars right there. Orion's Belt is 26 is the 26th constellation in size, occupying an area of 594 square degrees. So this is 594 square degrees. Like that takes up that. It's located in the first quadrant of the northern hemisphere, or NQI, and can be seen at the latitudes between 85 plus 85 and minus 75. The neighboring constellations are... Okay, you ready? The neighboring constellations are Uranus, I believe, Gemini, which we will get to later, I believe. Lupus, which is rabbit, if you remember. Monoceros, and Taurus. Also, Auregia, and there's Canis Major. There's Canis Major, which is his part of his hunting dog. And if you saw the scale at the bottom, this is stars. We'll talk about that later. Canis Major, Orion's dog, is one of the 88 modern constellations. So we're going to start talking about the dogs now. It was included in its 2nd century astronomer Ptolemy's 48th constellation. Its name is Latin for greater dog. So this is just this is going back to Orion. Sorry, I should show this. But here, can you see this? I'll have to end this episode soon and go to more. But this is Orion, and Taurus would be over here, and Lupus the rabbit is up here. Canis Major's here. I think Minor's here. They're just kind of showing it. No, yep, you're right. Major, Minor. I didn't read that. I'm sorry. I just had a major sheet. Canis Major, because this guy's flipped that way. This is what it is. This is front paws. You go back. Kind of messed up back legs on his tail. That's Canis Major. That means the larger dog. And Canis Minor, which is actually just a line, which is weird. I mean, with the other stars around it that you could see at that night, if you could see Canis Minor, it looks kind of like a dog, but not exactly. It's more like one of those Chihuahua dogs. But
it's 4:00.
Thank you, Alex. Canis Minor is the small constellation in the northern celestial hemisphere. So this is the northern celestial hemisphere. So there he is. In the 2nd century, it was included as a pattern of 2 stars in Ptolemy's 48 constellations, and is counted among the 88 modern constellations. That's I think that's really cool. I don't know how people do it. I think it's cool. Here's a more detailed picture of Minor and Major. You can see this one's the bigger, tougher dog. It'd be one of those Great Danes. It'd be. And can you see it very well? Okay. You can just see the star formation. See his back legs and his tail. And then his front. That's Major. It's the bigger dog. Orion's here. And this is Lupus, which is the rabbit, which they are told that the dog is going after the rabbit, is one of the other myths. Minor, this actually looks more like a Lhasa Apso or a Shih Tzu, like a smaller, very small dogs. But you see the two stars here. And you kind of see the stars that go around it. Like, because you can kind of tell that it's a dog, but not exactly. I'm gonna have to end this episode here, and we'll pick it up again. I've got 2 more pictures for the dogs, and then I go into zodiac signs. So check out part 2. Bye.